I think we're live. Cool. How's it going, everybody? It is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024, and I'm finally over my goddamn cold. That was not super fun. Would not recommend having a cold. It's not great. Wonder I wasn't signed in. I don't give a shit. And how's everybody doing tonight? I have the restream chat up, so hopefully it shows me chat from both Twitch and YouTube. I guess we'll find out as we go. I can close a bunch of tabs too. That'd be pretty cool. Oh my god. Hi, AJ08 Coder. I don't know if you're still here or not, but I appreciate the hello. Love the video. Love you, Vidyard. I'm gonna pretend like that was a coherent sentence. I appreciate it. So tonight we have quite a bit we need to get done in not a lot of time. I'm gonna probably do a short-ish stream tonight, maybe just like 2.5 hours. Because I'm still, I don't know, I'm getting back on my feet after being sick for a week. That sucked. So let's make a to-do list. Oh, 1 second. I forgot that I had unplugged my HDMI cable. Okay, to do. Let's make the font bigger. Everyone's favorite application is Notepad. We'll do Courier, so we look all fancy. To do. Oh, that's a terrible font. Let's pick something else. Maybe, there we go, that looks fancy. Okay, to do 1, update bag system to be able to spawn more than one at a time. 2, fix bug where things will spawn within the radius of the split bombs and vice versa. So I'll illustrate what the problem is there. So we have these enemies. Does that mean I'm warm now since I'm over the cold? Hee hee ho 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 ha 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 hee 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 ha 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 ha. Funny joke, funny joke, funny joke. Anyway. So the problem is we have the bombs, you punch them, and they split into like a cross pattern, like this. How am I doing? I'm doing great. The problem being, sometimes we'll get other bombs. Oh, no, let's do, we'll get other, why does this not have a fill? Oh, solid color, there we go. We'll get other bombs that before you punch this to split it out, they'll spawn like right here, overlapping. So then you get things running into each other and overlapping. So I just need to change the collision boundaries, if that makes sense. So that things can't spawn within this radius as opposed to this radius. This is a brilliant drawing. I am fully aware that y'all have just been enlightened by my art. So I'll give you a second to recuperate from that. I'm doing well, Nash. How are you? I'm gonna make this green because that's like the collision test circle. The red one reminds you of a pepperoni. Pepperoni pizza sounds good if I didn't just eat dinner. So those are the two things we're going to work on tonight. Number one, updating the bag system is going to be more important, so let's work on that. And I think we're going to make a new function. So let's go to our game mode. So currently, I should be looking at the restream chat instead of the other chat. Also, let me bring chat up here so y'all can see what people are saying. Okay, so under our game mode, let's find our bomb spawner actions. Ugh, too much stuff. Doing good, just realized your string height on your guitar is very high. I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna assume it's bad though. It might be the end of the world as we know it. Yeah, spawn bomb, here we go. So this is where we select our enemy. So we're gonna make a new function called select enemy v5. And I think we're just gonna piggyback off of our, because the enemy bag, I think we're gonna piggyback off of the logic we already have. Or we could just duplicate v4 and use it as v5. Okay, so that way you don't have to do anything complicated. v5, and we want to return a selected enemy array. We'll just do selected enemies. We'll say actor, and we'll make a class reference, and we'll make it an array. I think if I had a Gibson guitar, the headstock could have broken off. Luckily, the guitar you got was made by professionals over it. I don't know what any of that means. I only play air guitar. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so now we have to figure out how to choose how many enemies to spawn. Let's walk through this logically in our head real quick. Do I collect anything? Magic the Gathering cards, because I'm a giant fucking nerd. How's it going, Rebel? How are you tonight? Where's my glasses then? Nerds wear glasses. Bit. I can't see shit. Chillin'? That's pretty fun. I would be doing the same thing if I wasn't working on my game. Those are sunglasses. Those are cool. How goes the game making? We just got started, so good, I suppose. We are, this is our to-do list for the night. It's gonna be a short-ish stream. Tonight, we are updating the bag system to be able to spawn more than one at a time, and we're fixing a bug where things will spawn within the radius of the split bombs and vice versa, if any of that made sense. So right now we're updating our enemy selection process to return an array as opposed to a single enemy. How goes the, you collect cologne. Or if you want to be fancy, you can call it cologne. That's what all the fancy people from Paris call it. I would know, because I'm fancy. So, Shuffle the bag and chop off top index based on chop amount. Cologny. No. Cologny. Cologny. How goes the not game making, Rebel? Unless you're making a game right now, in which case I feel awkward. I realized it sounded kind of like passive aggressive when I said how goes the not game making. I didn't mean it like that. Shuffle the current bag, return the top piece. Oh, so we were pretty good. Working on Genshin Spiral Abyss. I know what Genshin is. I don't have any idea what a Spiral Abyss is. And I tried to start playing a gacha game. I started trying to play, what's it called, AFK Journey or something. It's just too complicated for me. There's too many mechanics and stuff. I just wanted something like Clicker Heroes for an AFK game. It's a challenge that resets like once a month. Recently got one that's like a mix of one that costs like 600 retail mixed with Dior Sauvage. Which Dior Sauvage isn't cheap either. Oh, and then you had sunglasses emoji. Okay, so we return the top piece. Enemy to return. We shuffle. We get the top piece of our bag, and then we remove that index. Then we ask if both conditions are met, increment the wave. Ask if the bag is now empty and if there are no more loops. And return the selected enemy. Yeah. I think we go back to what we were doing. So delete this function because it sucks. We add a new function called select enemy V5. That looks familiar. Am I a fan of Star Wars? Star Wars? I think they're okay. I don't have anything against Star Wars. I think it's fine. I think Disney's overdone it with the shows. Do we have any inputs for our spawn bomb function? We do not. For our select. Okay, so select enemy V5. I think we just do select enemy V4 within select enemy V5. Because that takes care of all of the logic of selecting an enemy. I think we put this in a for loop. And we get I think we make a new when this game comes out, how you're gonna deal with cheaters. It's a single player game and there's like a leaderboard, but I don't know, if you can figure out how to cheat at a VR game, more power to you, I guess. Like, it's a lot easier, I think, to discover cheats and stuff for games that aren't VR. But if you're like in a VR headset, it's a lot easier to like figure out, it's a lot harder to like figure out how to clip through bounds and survive and stuff. Plus, I think I've made it pretty cheat proof. I'll probably be proven wrong, but I think I made it pretty cheat proof. There's so many cheaters out there. Grr, I'm mad. All right, so then we want to add this to an array. And then I think we just add, I think we just do like a local variable. We call this, this will be an actor array. Actor, we want an actor class reference rather than an object reference. We want to make this an array, and we call this enemies to spawn. Oh, we can say selected enemies. So then we add an output. Once the loop is completed, and this will be selected enemies. And we grab our selected enemies and plug it in. You know, I'm a huge Call of Duty fan, but this year it seems awful. You're happy you didn't buy it. I feel like you're about to be hit with massive amount of cheaters and no one will be able to do anything. That's why I play Fortnite! They just added Avatar The Last Airbender stuff and it's very fun. Play Fortnite too. I bought all of the Avatar The Last Airbender stuff. I'm not like a big fan of this season though. I think the snipers are a little too prominent. Like the Reaper sniper rifle just seems significantly more broken than any sniper they've ever had in the game. Fortnite. So we turn the selected enemy from 4. So first index 1. And last index will be a variable that we'll create here in a second. That's going to return an error. The bullet drop they changed to actually be a thing. It's still easy to get like a lot of damage on people. Like headshots are a little harder, but it's still really easy to get like body shots on people with the Reaper. And my biggest problem isn't that snipers exist in the game. While I do think they're bullshit for a battle royale, my problem is that they kill people in one hit. Like if you get a headshot, you just go straight back to the lobby without even knowing that person exists. And I think that's pretty dumb, mechanically speaking. And then also, even if they don't hit your head, they melt most of your health away. And then you have a huge disadvantage. They just like shockwave over and finish you with a couple pops. I don't know. Snipers feel very low risk, low skill, high reward. While if you have a shotgun, the current loophole, I know everybody's pissed off about the frenzy shotgun, but regardless, if you hit someone point blank in the head, all pellets hit on the frenzy auto shotgun, it does like 100-ish damage. That's ridiculous, because that's high risk. You have to get right up in their face to do that. They know you exist. They're also shooting you. I feel like that should do more damage than a sniper rifle where the other person doesn't even know you exist. Like, you have such an advantage when you use a sniper as opposed to any other gun in the game, and yet for some reason the sniper still does more than double the damage of any other gun in the game. It does over 250 damage for a headshot with the sniper rifle, and the person doesn't even know you exist. They just go straight back to the lobby like that. I think that's really poor mechanically for a game where you spend all this time gathering loot. Like, for like an arena game like Call of Duty or Halo or something, I think snipers are fine because you just respawn and you go kill the other person that sniped you because you know where they are after they sniped you because there's the kill cam. Fortnite, they snipe you, you're back in the lobby, you didn't even know they existed after you spent like the past 15 minutes gathering all this loot and doing pretty well. But it's not. There's no risk. You can say it's a risk reward thing, but there's way higher risk with every other gun in the game. If you, hi Jollibee, how's it going? If you fire your sniper and miss because you suck at the game, then sure, they know you exist, but you already have this huge advantage of having the first shot. With the Reaper, it's point and click enough to where you're probably at least going to get a body shot, so that already puts you way ahead. So there's no risk involved with taking the first shot. They don't even know you exist. You get to melt most of their health away with zero risk. I think that's very poor game design. Because like if you're using a shotgun on someone point blank, I feel like a headshot, all pellets hit to the head with a shotgun where they know you exist, they're also shooting you. That should do more damage than a sniper. It would in real life. What's happening? I'm working on my game, but also arguing about snipers in Fortnite. Hola, how's it going, Bardock? So right now, our goal is to update my enemy selector system to be able to spawn more than one at a time. I'm piggybacking off my old system for that right now to return an array instead of a single enemy. And then I'm gonna fix a bug too. I think it's interesting, if someone has very good aim with a Nemesis AR, that doesn't kill you in one hit. You have an opportunity to respond to that. You don't have an opportunity to respond to getting sniped. You miss a shot, then you instantly get sniped. My whole argument is that the sniper is low skill, low risk, high reward. There's no other gun in the game with that risk to reward ratio. There's zero risk to using a sniper. There's all of the risk in the world to using close-up weapons, yet the sniper does more than double the damage of anything else in the game. I think it's poorly designed, and everyone in the competitive community agrees pretty much. It's pretty much just casuals that like the snipers. I'm casual. I still think they're dumb. I hate getting sniped. I feel like most of the times I die, it's because of snipers. How would I fix it? I don't think snipers belong in a battle royale. I think they're mechanically poor for a game that's based on elimination. Like I said, for an arena shooter like COD or Halo, they snipe you, you see it on the kill cam, you just go kill them. That's fine. You respawn, you have a chance to do something about it. In a battle royale, you spend 15 minutes or so gathering loot, killing people, fighting, all this stuff. It's like this story that's happening to you that you're living out in real time. And then without even knowing the person exists, back to the lobby. That's really poorly designed. That's the ultimate feels bad, because there's nothing you could have done about that. I feel like in any game like this, you need an opportunity to be able to respond. If you get headshot sniped, there's no opportunity to respond. And I think that's kind of bullshit. It's because like the whole point of getting beaten in a game is you learn from that. You learn and you grow from that. Like, what could I have done differently? The only thing you could have done differently if you get headshot sniped is spend the entire game camping in a building. And that just encourages extremely boring gameplay. They do light up with the scope though. That's why they should nerf snipers the area to live, so you could heal and also make it harder to kill with snipers. Yeah, and then the other issue with the Reaper sniper rifle specifically is that it has multiple bullets in the clip, so you can go pop, 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 and even if you're getting body shots, you're still just killing the people like that. You're melting them away. I think bolt action's better where it only has one bullet in it, but I still don't think any gun in the game should kill in one hit like that, especially something where you don't even know the person exists. Because they could be sniping you from behind and you don't have an opportunity to respond to that. And then plenty of people also run the sniper without the sniper scope and it's still easy to hit with. Yeah, especially in zero builds, it's awful. That's all my girlfriend and I play since we play on console. If I was playing on PC, I would want to do builds, but I've been playing a lot on PS5 lately with my girlfriend because it's relaxing to just kick back in bed and play games rather than playing on PC. And zero build with snipers is miserable. And both of us refuse to take snipers or use them because I think it's just ethically wrong. I have morals. I don't think any gun in the game should just send you back to the lobby. It's an awareness thing. Yeah, but Nash, what if someone just shows up on the hill behind you, scopes in, pops you in the head? You didn't have an opportunity to see that. It's not like they're gonna sit there for 20 seconds while you're looking around. They still have such a significant advantage in any situation. And the only counter to a sniper is sniping back if they miss. If they don't miss, you're already at such a disadvantage or already back in the lobby. I just think from a game design perspective, it's a huge feels bad for the players that get sniped. It feels very good to snipe people, and I suspect that's why they're in the game in their current state, because it makes people who are bad at the game feel like they're good at the game. That's why the reboot system is good. Reboot system is great. There's enough mobility right now, though. If you're in duos, for instance, like I play with my girlfriend, you get sniped, they just shockwave over or fly over, and there's nothing you can do about that because then it's 2v1, and that's handleable in builds where you can outbuild the duo. But if you're in zero builds, doing a 2v1 is very difficult. I'm not gonna say impossible because it happens, but it's very difficult. Someone's dying to the same thing every single time. You feel it's something to do with skill. Maybe your aim is better with snipers and you have good aim, but I do think it's awareness. I don't know. My argument still stands that there's zero risk to sniping and it's extremely high reward. And there's nothing you can counterpoint, I guess. You get headshot sniped. You're moving around fine. You're playing the game. You're not just standing still, but you continually die to headshot snipes. How do you improve that? Other than just hiding in buildings the whole game. Yeah, if you miss, you can just fall back and try again. There's zero risk involved with sniping. It's half the time if they miss their first snipe, you can't tell where that came from. Directional audio with headphones isn't good enough. Know the sight lines and don't step into them. That's a lot harder to do in a battle royale where you're forced to move across the map and it's wide open most of the time. Obviously, you don't want to just stand still out in the open, but the Reaper sniper rifle is point and click enough that even if you're moving sporadically, it's pretty easy to hit. I don't know, we can all just agree to disagree though. That's fine. Also, how's it going, Terry? Okay, so we need to, what is not blueprint visible? Late night at work, especially a third party, you can't find out. Yeah, sometimes you're in the middle of a fight and you get headshot sniped by a third party or body shot sniped by a third party. Yeah, we both know Fortnite's not meant to be taken seriously, but I think it's an ultimate feels bad. It just feels like when you get sniped, it just feels like you just wasted the past 20 minutes of your life because there's nothing you could have done about that. If I lose in a shotgun fight or an SMG fight or whatever, I could have aimed better. I could have had better movement. I could have done a million things differently. If I just get sent back to the lobby without even knowing the person exists, there's nothing I could have done to improve that. It's literally just luck of the draw that they showed up at that point in time and sniped you, and there's nothing you can do about that. I think that's bad game design. I think in a good game, you should always have an opportunity to counter. It should be a skill thing, not a luck thing. Because if you feel like, if it feels to the player like you just get sent back to the lobby for the hell of it, there's nothing you could have done about it. There's nothing you learn or take away from that other than you just lost a bunch of time. They should make snipers do max 200 so in zero build the overshield saves you. I would argue even less because of the skill curve. Especially, okay, I would argue that the bolt action sniper at least takes some skill to aim. That has a good bullet drop off and lead time. The Reaper, in my experience using it, feels, there's a little bit of lead time and drop off, but it feels mostly point and click. You're at least probably gonna hit their body, and it has multiple bullets in the clip. That should do like a max of 100 damage. And I think it's absolutely absurd that a gun that has absolutely zero risk involved with it does more than double the damage of a full headshot with a shotgun, which has all of the risk involved with it. Anyway, I need to figure this out. Why is this having issues? Error. It says it's not blueprint visible, but I don't know what that is meaning. Zero risk at a certain skill level, yes. If you have a sniper, all you're doing is letting people know where you are with it. Yeah, but taking the first shot has zero risk, and chances are you're probably at least gonna hit their body, at which point you have a huge advantage. Unless you're just really bad at the game, then you're probably not gonna hit anything. But then you have an opportunity to relocate before they know where you are. I think adding a slug shotgun that does 50,000 damage is the solution. I don't think any gun in the game should kill in one hit. Especially not the one that has zero risk involved with taking the first shot. I think shotguns are in a perfectly fine place where they are. I think the snipers are the things that need to be nerfed. They should bring the railgun back and buff it. Why does this say that it's not blueprint visible? Does that work? Yeah, that works fine. So why is this one not blueprint visible? Is it because of the name? Okay, I guess it was because it had the same name as the output. Remember the sword in Fortnite? Yeah, that was a nightmare. Shotgun could do 200 pump someone and that would be fair, but not a sniper. I agree with that. Perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine, especially in zero build. You loved the bows in the primal season. They were fine, I guess. My only issue in Fortnite is pretty much with snipers. But someone at Epic has a hard-on for snipers, so I don't think they're ever going to be nerfed or removed in any significant sort of way. Alright, so for whatever value we decide, we just add stuff to this array. And then since this is a local variable, every time we run the function, this should be reset. Primal shotgun was so OP. 12 rounds is insane. I don't remember a whole lot about Primal. I enjoyed the season. I don't remember that much about it. I enjoyed the season because there were no snipers, for being honest. Yeah, the sword was hilarious because they added it to the game like the day before a massive tournament. And then someone grabbed the sword, I don't remember who it was, grabbed the sword during the tournament, dominated everyone, and the announcers had to pretend like nothing was wrong with that. You miss old movement. I didn't notice the huge difference between the movement, but I'm also a filthy casual. So we will take our array and clear it just in case. I'm pretty sure it resets every time you call the function because it's a new function. We will go ahead and clear it at the beginning of the function regardless. Then we will add to our enemy array for however many times the for loop runs, then we return the enemy's array. I think that's cool. Let's figure out where to put how many times, how many things it can spawn. So here's the issue. It's fun yapping about Fortnite. I'm reworking my spawning system in my game so that multiple things can spawn at once later in the game. Because right now, how it works and how the original game worked that I made is it spawns one thing at a time and that speeds up. But at a certain point, it hits a ceiling of how fast they can spawn because I don't want it to be impossible. So to continue making it more difficult past that, I want it to be so that it can spawn multiple enemies at once. But that requires a significant rework of some things. So that's what we're doing tonight. So I'm taking my current enemy selector and running it multiple times based on a variable, which we're gonna plug in here in a second, and adding it to an array. Then we're gonna take that array and spawn each of those at the same time. Hello, Mustard. You slow down. Mustard us low down, or Mustard you slow down. Is there just the gray and red ball, or are there any ones? Oh, there's like 8 different enemies in the game. They get introduced throughout the game. I only showed the 2 during the short to keep things simple. So I reworked the red ones first of all to have spikes, which is nice. Which I'm working on a YouTube short for that too, to talk about the enemy redesigns. But we have uppercut and hammer punch ones that you have to hit on the white area. We have these ones, which this one splits into multiples when you punch it, so it like splits out either vertically, horizontally, or both. We have the combo ones, you have to punch twice, which they just look like regulars until you punch them. And we have fake outs, which turn into spike ones when you punch them, and then if you punch them again, you get penalized. And then these ones, which aren't fully implemented yet, but they stick to your fist, and then you have to punch them off with the other fist, which will be really good for setting up for hitting targets. And then we have the ones we did last stream, which was admittedly a while ago because I was sick. Where did I put those? Which these? Tell you which fist you have to hit them with, because currently in the game you get combo points by continually alternating your fists, and for me, for someone who's decent at the game, who's played it a lot, it's really easy to just keep alternating for every punch, so it's really easy to keep the combos going. So I wanted to break that up some, so I introduced these enemies which tell you which fist you have to hit with. So let's say You punch with your left fist previously, then this shows up. You can't punch this yet if you want to keep your combo going, so you have to look for a different one to punch and then come back and punch this one with the left fist to keep the combo going. So it makes you stop and think about things for a second, but then you also have to do it within the time limit before it blows up and damages you. So I thought that was pretty fun. Okay, back to what we were doing. Where do we want to store? So here's the issue that I'm still racking my brain for. Same issue we had last stream. Let's make a new notepad just so I can explain things. Formats, fonts, let's make it like 36, that's probably fine. So we want waves to be able to spawn more than one at a time. We want it to be more rare to spawn 2 or 3 at a time, like really rare. So we want to do like a weighted random as to whether it pulls 2 or 3 out. And we want to be able to adjust the weighted random amounts. I don't know the best way to handle a weighted random like that in Blueprint. And I don't know where to store those variables. So I'm thinking is we make a struct. So we can make a struct that is number to spawn followed by a % chance to spawn that many. Essentially like we can essentially turn it into like a second bag. So that way, per bag that we have, we can put this struct on the bag itself, or the wave that we're on, because the bags essentially turn into waves. We loop the bags a certain amount of times. But we can staple this to the bag, and that way we can, later in the game, we can have it spawn 2 or 3 at a time, but earlier in the game when we have it spawn 1 or 2 at a time. Mustard, you slow down. Oh, thanks for the clarification. What's that a reference to? Is that a reference to Donald Mustard for all the changes they made in Fortnite really fast for a while? Or is that totally something different? That's where my brain went first. Mr. Donald Mustard. He no longer works there. Or maybe he still works at Epic. I think he retired or moved on. Okay, so we are currently parsing Let's take a look at our enemy bag too. I know a lot of this is probably confusing and not great to watch on stream. I stream the game development because it's fun to talk to people while I do this, and it forces me to be productive. Where did I store? Oh, bomb spawner 2, enemy bag 2. So the bag is enemy versus quantity, which is a structure. So then we can make a new structure. We can call this amount versus chance. And we'll just do integer and integer, and this will be amount to spawn. We'll add a variable, and this will be chance. Can I add a tool tip? Oh, nice. Okay. And we'll just do percentages and make sure it balances out to 100. Then we can go back to our enemy bag 2. We can add a variable, and this will be amount to spawn. And this will be amount versus chance, and it'll be an array. So now, oh, can we set defaults for this, by the way? Default values, there we go, 1, 1. So we can save that, go back to our game mode. Go to our spawner. amount to spawn. There we go. So for bag 1, amount to spawn will literally just be 100. $100. So then bag 2, which only has $10 in it. Chance 100, and then we'll add an index, and we'll say chance to spawn 2 will be like a 3% chance. Make it pretty rare. So when we get down to wave 3, still the maximum I think that should spawn at once is 2. And make that like a 5% chance. I don't want it to be super common. I just want it to be possible. So we get to wave 4. Index 3 is wave 4 because you start at index 0 in an array. Still only potentially 2 at a time, but make it maybe like 15% of the time. Still want to just spawn 1 at a time most of the time. Where is current wave stored? Oh, it's under the game mode. Current bag, so how many times it loops through, set the amount to chop off, parse the list of actors. Asking if the parsed bag is empty. If it is empty, false. We go down the false route. Ask if loops is greater than 1. That's true, then we minus. Then we parse the list of actors. Both conditions are met, increment the wave. Trying to make a VR game for Oculus Quest 2, and when you package it, widgets are shaky and text is unreadable. Do you know how you can fix that? I would need a whole lot more detail. Are you talking like UMG widgets? I don't know, mine just kind of work. Or are you in Unity? I'm assuming if you're using widgets, probably Unreal. Mine definitely has some like aliasing, but it's widgets attached to an actor and placed in the world. I don't know, it could be like a lot of things. I would probably have to see it to even take a guess. Alright, so I think we need to add a step here where we parse out the percent chance bag. What anti-aliasing method you use, honestly wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head. Let me take a look in a book. I don't even remember where that is in the project settings. I'm using MSAA, it looks like. Mobile anti-aliasing method. I'm using FXAA. And it's working pretty well. And I'm using the specific Oculus build of Unreal 5.3. I guess they'll probably have a 5.4 build soon. I've been updating as they have, just because they tend to introduce new good stuff pretty often, and for VR, I think the latest, greatest is kind of important. I think I'm gonna add a step here where we parse. We do another for each loop after that completes. And after that completes, we come down here. And this one will take our I think we'll make a new variable here and call it mount to spawn array. And this will be amount versus chance. Can I export my project settings and send them to you somehow? Probably not. If there's anything specific you want to see, I'm happy to show you though. And my widgets aren't perfect. They're decent though. You want to see the rendering tab? I'm using forward shading. FXAA. Hope I'm well. He's gonna message me on Instagram asking about Blender coaching. And I hate to say no, but I just don't have time. I don't even have time for my own projects. I only get to work on my game on Tuesdays and sometimes Saturdays. Other than that, I've got a full-time job and I'm living life. I'm working on YouTube videos. I am flattered though. Reflection method, screen space. I don't think that applies to mobile, does it? Wait, where do you see? Oh yeah, I don't think that applies to I don't think that applies to mobile. It's grayed out though for the Oculus build. I don't think you can change that. Low cost but limited by screen space information. I don't think that applies to the mobile VR builds here. I think pretty much everything is cube maps or whatever. Reflection maps. Set to lumen and it can't change that. I don't think lumen works on mobile either. In 5.3 it works. On mobile VR, lumen does. And all this is overwritten by the mobile settings. I feel like a lot of this is probably irrelevant. I will say, I have not messed with most of this. A lot of this is just the defaults. For the Oculus build of 5.3. I'm not much of an engineer or anything. I went to art school. I'm just making a game because I think it's a fun learning experience. And I like the node-based programming. I know a little bit of C++, but I just don't do it. We will put this under our spawner v3. We'll set it right here. Be playable in standalone. It's standalone. I've done a whole lot of optimizations. This isn't even lit. It's all textures. But it's controllable. I have a YouTube short on it. My entire lighting system is where did I save that? Give a link to that short. I don't remember where I saved the variable. I was gonna just show it here. It's very niche. It wouldn't work for most systems. Since you stand in one space in my game, it works pretty well. But, where the hell did I save that? Oh wait, did I? No? I don't work on this very often, so I lose track of things pretty often. Map materials. No. Be here. Oh, map light parameters. Here we go. So I have it set up with scalable material parameters, so I can just like brighten the textures with animated values. And since the lights are baked out, I have like complete control over all of it, including the color. just by compositing in the materials. Like, then I have, let me reset those values real quick. I was also gonna work on like an explosion option, like that requires a lot of math though. If you go too bright, it gets a little wonky since it's just brightening a texture. How did I bake my lights? I'll just share the shorts. I thought this short was pretty cool. It didn't do super well in terms of views, but that's okay. I think it's good information.
So I wanted reactive arcade-style lighting for my MetaQuest game where you punch things, but dynamic lights in Unreal Engine are expensive for mobile VR. So instead, in Blender, I set each of my lights to either red, green, or blue and baked them into textures using cycles. This allowed me to store up to 3 lights in each texture, including indirect light, by splitting out the RGB channels. Then in Unreal, I used a material parameter collection to multiply each light texture by both a value and a color parameter, added the lights together, and then multiplied them by the diffuse texture. This allows me to control the lights, including color and bounce lighting, in real time with material parameters. Because I'm handling the lighting this way, the environment shaders are completely shadeless and perform great on mobile while still looking like we're getting fancy path traced lighting.
Yeah, it's extremely niche and only works for a game pretty much where you stand still or if you have the map set up in specific segments. Like, I was thinking about this for whatever my next game project is going to be because I've always wanted to do like a procedurally generated dungeon crawler. If you had like map segments where the lighting is individual per segment or room, it could also work. But it's like, it's definitely a whole lot of work to get it set up, and you have to plan things out ahead of time. You can't just like experiment with lights in the engine. It's all in the textures.
This is definitely very niche and limited, but it makes for cool animated arcade lighting with very little downside. So I wanted a reactive arcade style light.
It works well, and it performs very well, but it's definitely a lot to set up. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Yeah, and then I have color parameters down here, so I can just like change the colors of things at will, which is pretty nice. I don't think that one controls anything currently. It works well for like an arcade game like this. And then each of the I set it up on my map so that each of the 4 walls is identical, so that it only has to use one material pretty much. I tried it on Quest. Oh yeah, I play test it pretty frequently. I'll show you on. Oh shit, that's my. I don't know why it's casting my feet. Oh, there's my room. Oh, there's my foot. Oh, I'm getting banned. Ugh. Really, no boundary found? You've seen my room is very messy. I'm aware of that. We cleaned out the garage. No boundary. Room scale. I'm sorry you had to see my messy room. We cleaned out the garage recently. There's a lot of junk in here currently. Really? Alright, you get the point. It works, more or less. Damn, notes from that playtest. I think I raised the rate of non-punch ones last time. I need to lower that back down. Right now the left-right are spawning too early as well, and you can't really compensate. So those are good notes. Even though it's plugged in, that was running natively on the headset though. I don't even playtest it in engine. I playtest it completely built out every time just because playtesting in the engine usually is very laggy for me. But then playtesting on the headset is not. I think it's just because I have so much stuff running. Where were we? All right, we're setting the amount to spawn with this. And we're gonna do the exact same thing we do for the current bag v3. Where we parse it out to I guess we'll make amount to spawn parsed. And it'll just be an integer array. Add new variable. This will be amount to spawn parsed. This will be an integer array. My cat is meowing at me. It's almost time to feed them. I feed my cats at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. on a schedule. So then in here we do a for loop. Start at 1. And at the chance of it to spawn. We take our amount to spawn parsed. And we add the amount to spawn for the amount of times of the chance. So this will give us an array. So let's say it has like a 3% chance and a 97% chance. It'll add 97 of the 97% chance ones. And it'll add 3 of the 3% chance ones and then pull out of that bag to decide how many to spawn at once. This is about to be fire. You can improve the quality and speed of your project. How so? My philosophy is generally hardware ray tracing when available. What am I going to be using ray tracing for? Everything is baked. Quest 3 has hardware ray tracing. I am targeting Quest 2 as well. Support hardware ray tracing. So also, I don't think I need that. I think it's probably fine as is. So the entire map is shadeless. The only thing that isn't shadeless are the hero objects, the enemies and the fists. So there's nothing really to ray trace. I have like one directional light. Check FPS and quality after enabling it. You got me curious. I'll give you that. It's a must in all games. Ray tracing is only useful for reflections and lighting, and it's slower performance than the alternative. check Unreal's documents. I don't think I'm gonna mess with it. I'm gonna keep going with what I have. If you post a link in the chat to like the documentation, I'll look at it. I'm not gonna spend any time looking further though. Anyway, so we have our amount spawned parsed. Amount to spawn parsed. So we'll go ahead and set a default value for this because the first bag won't have been gone through. For the very first thing that spawned. So amount to spawn default is 1. Software ray tracing uses lower quality mesh distance field representations of meshes, while ray tracing uses the actual meshes. Hardware ray tracing is always going to be higher quality and more stable. You fast turning on the hardware. That's what they say. Yeah, but no ray tracing is faster than ray tracing. Updated terms and conditions. Just got a notification from a litter robot saying they have updated terms and conditions. The fuck does a litter box have terms and conditions for? So now under our new function, we just grab, we take our I guess before we parse it out, we want to I need to go feed my cats real quick and then we'll finish this. to bake my lights. I can show you. Sorry about that. I feed my cats wet food at night, so I have to do that manually. I just bake them in Blender. So like, let's say I have my map. Let's say we have a couple lights that we want to be able to control in Unreal. I would make them solid red, green, and blue. That way you can store up to 3 lights in one texture. Can you do it in Unreal? You can't do it the way I did it in Unreal. You can just use Unreal's like static lighting systems, but that's not gonna be animatable in real time using textures. The reason I did it this way, specifically, is so that I could control them in real time. Because if you have an image texture baked out, then you can, and your lights are solid red, green, or blue, then the benefit there is, I'll just show you. So let me unwrap this real quick. I'll just delete the bottom, I don't need that. And cut some seams. I think it's M. Image, new. Lights. And then material, texture, image texture, lights. And then I haven't baked in 4.1 yet. I think it's a little bit different. Use cycles, bake. Diffuse, direct, indirect, color. Bake. How can you make the lighting on him and then import him to Unreal no matter what lights are on the scene? Oh, that's not gonna happen. You have to have a stationary light in Unreal to get real-time lighting on something. Like, 'cause I'm assuming your character moves around, right? And you want the lighting to be proper regardless of whatever angle and rotation he is. The method I'm doing only works for objects that are completely static. Oh, no matter what lights are on the scene, the character remains as it is. Oh, you could just set up the lighting and bake all of that out in Blender to just like an image, like a diffused image texture. And then set it up as a shadeless thing in Unreal. Let that bake for a second. Geez, too many samples. Just do like 256. Can I bake my widgets? They're not affected by the lighting at all. They're just shadeless. Anyway, the benefit here is if I now make this like completely shadeless. And then just grab the image texture. It looks like that, but if I separate it out, since the lights are either solid red, green, or blue, red is one light, green is one light, blue is one light. How did I bake my widgets? How you did that? So my widgets are on an actor. I have a scoreboard actor that uses the widget component type. And it's just completely shadeless by default, I think. My girlfriend wants to play Fallout 4. PlayStation. I think I need to delete some stuff from storage. You said it's shadeless. I mean the widget type component type is just shadeless by default. I'm pretty sure it doesn't like accept lighting or anything, at least in my experience. Just the default, I just add a widget component to a 3D object and it just kind of works. Then you just set it to whatever your widget is. Mine is the scoreboard widget class, because that's the widget class that I made. Console management. Your skylight affects the widget? That's odd. You can probably just change the material. You could probably duplicate the widget pass-through material. And I don't have a skylight or anything. You could probably just modify the node setup on the material. Masked one-sided, opaque one-sided. So you could probably duplicate, find parent, widget 3D pass through. Yeah, I don't know why yours is being affected, because it looks shadeless by default. I don't know why I don't have a node tree for this. I don't know. Like, full disclosure, I'm not exactly an expert or anything. I just know the few things I've learned along the way. This is my, I guess technically second game, but it's a remake of my first game, but for Quest. I've done like a few VR simulations for various things, but nothing huge. Sorry, I'm responding to a friend. I know it's rude to do that on stream, but they were checking in on something. Do you use any VR templates? No. How's it going, AG? Oh wait, Coder. I just used the Unreal build from Oculus, and that's about it. The rest of this I kind of built myself. Is that a specific thing I wanted to do? Anyway, back to what we were doing. So we want to... Oh man, I lost my train of thought. And the game's basically, like, functional. Now it's just tweaking, pretty much. And then I have to add more unlockable stuff. And music. Music, unlockable stuff, and difficulty scaling. And that's pretty much it. Everything's basically done. The getting the right ratios of different types of enemies is gonna be the hard part. It's gonna require a whole lot of playtesting though. Okay, so under our select enemy, we need to clear. Since we're not removing anything from this, we need to clear it before we set it. So we want to take our amount to spawn parsed and clear it. Then parse it out. And then rather than just setting the default to 1, let's just do some logic in the spawner. So under our select enemy v5, we get the length. We ask if it's greater than 0. And we branch. Then in this function, we'll add a local variable, and this will be spawn amount. And this will just be a straight up integer, not an array. Grab that, put that here. So we'll ask if the length of this array that we're grabbing from is greater than 0. If it is, then we shuffle, and then I'm gonna test my game from my PC. I just build it out every time. I do the I click platforms, and I hit Quest 3, and then it builds it out for Android and launches it on the Quest 3. And then it also like saves it as the app on the Quest 3, so I can boot it even when it's not plugged in. And then I just have the headset plugged in so I can cast through the Quest Developer Hub app. So then we shuffle it, then we get the first index and we set spawn amount to the first index. Then we do the for loop. If the length is not greater than 0, then we just set spawn amount to 1. And do the for loop. If you do that, it installs on the quest right away. It should. It should just, so I'll demonstrate. So like I'm casting right here. Oh God, I don't know if I don't think I'm using V5 yet in the spawn logic, so I think we're fine. Spawn. Yeah, we're still using V4. That's fine. So if I just go to platforms and hit quest 3, it'll build it for Android. Sometimes it fails and I have to restart the engine. But if I bring up the cast window, it'll show it as it boots, but it'll be installed on the headset. It takes a minute because it's building it out rather than just testing an engine. Hopefully it works. Sometimes it doesn't, and like I said, I have to restart. So I'll try. Oh, I don't know if that's a bug or what. It just always has that for me. But it still works. I've never had it not have that triangle error. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to... Yep, there it is. Anyway, so booting from engine, or building from engine does that. Works pretty well. It's not gonna just unplug it, take it anywhere, and just play from the headset because it's installed properly and whatnot. They do. The time between the spawning decreases pretty fast. So it gets pretty hard. The curve for that is going to be adjusted based on playtesting, because right now people struggle with it as is. So it's just going to be a lot of playtesting, because for me, it's very easy. I've been playing the game a whole lot. For people who haven't played it much, it's not super easy, so I need to find a good balance. But it gets a whole lot faster eventually. And but by the time you're in the game for like 10 minutes, it gets very fast. But I may need to make it increase in speed faster. And then it also slowly introduces the new varieties of enemies. Like you haven't even seen the ones that split yet. So I think we should. Oh. I think what we're gonna have to do here. I don't really need these anymore. I'll save them just in case. I think what we need to do here now is do a for loop. If I try it on Oculus Quest, you'll see many differences. It should work fine on Oculus Quest 2. I've been working on this since before the 3 existed, and it worked fine on the Quest 2 previously. It's your boy Lee. Hi. It should still work fine on the Quest 2. I will be testing it more on the 2. I haven't tested it on the 2 in a while. But there's not a whole lot. No shattering or ghosting. Not that I'm aware of. But I haven't booted my 2 up this year. I started working on this version of the game like 2 years ago, just very infrequently. But I was originally developing it on the 2. And not much has changed in terms of like what would cause any sort of performance dips or anything. When will the game release? I'm shooting for some point this year on the App Lab, but I don't get to work on it very often. Just kind of Tuesdays and Saturdays, sometimes Saturdays, usually Tuesdays. I'm also trying to grow the YouTube channel slowly. And it's a juggling act. I think what I'm gonna do, how much will it be? I'm making this for fun, so I'm just gonna shoot for like the $5 price range, like $5 price range probably. Somewhere under 10 for sure. Like between 5 and 10 somewhere I think is fair. It's less than a cup of coffee. And from the $5, how many you keep? What do you mean? How many do I keep out of the $5? I don't know how much. I don't know what percent Oculus takes, honestly. I'm gonna duplicate this as like a backup, just in case I completely botch it, because I don't have source tree set up because I'm dumb. Unreal gets nothing unless you make over $1 million. That's a pretty cool business model from them. So we want to do select enemy V5. This be on quest 1 through 3. It'll be on 2 and 3. I don't think it would work on quest 1 if I had to guess. I think my 1 is in the garage currently, but my 2 is right here. And then I don't know what percent Oculus takes. Looks like 30% purchases. Which is annoying. So I would get like $3.50 per sale if I sold it at 5. 30% is pretty standard. I've heard that's what Steam charges as well. I cannot confirm or deny that, even though I've sold this on Steam. This was the original version of the game for the quest for. I did this for the HTC Vive and Rift CV1. But this was a PC VR game, so I didn't have to be so cautious about performance. And I completely restarted from scratch for the Quest game. And this never came out of early access because all the SDKs and engine and everything changed a whole lot since I started it. I started it, worked on it for a few years, released the early access, continued working on it, had heart issues, had to have open heart surgery, couldn't work on it for a long time, and then everything changed a whole lot in that time period by the time I got back to work on it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna restart. And that's where we are today. Yeah, Steam allegedly also takes a 30% cut. Apple takes a 30% cut. That's a well-documented fact. It seems to just be the standard other than Epic Games. How much did I make off of it? God, like less than 1 month's rent. The game was a critical success. The people who bought it liked it a lot. It was a complete financial failure. This game will be amazing when released. I hope so. I'm gonna get playtesters. I'm gonna ask people. I'm gonna like make a YouTube short asking for people to playtest it sometime soon. I'll probably have like a Google Docs sheet or something to add people to playtest. So I'd like to get some more names on the leaderboards. Not worth to develop VR games? I wouldn't say that. I didn't market it like at all. I had a goal to release it that year. I was working up till the very end of the year, released it that December, had like no marketing, hadn't reached out to any press at all. I was brand new to making games. I had no idea what I was doing. I still have no idea what I'm doing. The YouTube channel where I'm posting shorts about my development progress is my sort of form of marketing for this game, which is a whole lot more than I did for the last one. So I'm hoping to build up like a group of people who are at least interested in the game before I release it this time, rather than what happened last time where no one even knew it existed and then it got buried in the first day that it was on Steam. I think you can make money on VR games. I think it's a lot less lucrative than making a non-VR game currently. You don't get into VR development to be a bajillionaire. You do it because it's something you enjoy doing. I think only horror games on VR are worth, or if you come up with something like Beat Saber or something that ends up being that popular. I'm just making a fun arcade game because I think it's fun. Maybe it'll make like a little extra income on the side, but I'm not expecting it to like replace my day job or anything. Where were we? Functions. Select enemy V5. And then we do a for each. Do I work also? Yeah, I have a full-time job. I work for a company. I make animated promotional videos for them. I work in marketing for a company. It's ironic that I had no idea how to market my game. I don't do the marketing specifically in the marketing department. I work on videos, so I'm not in charge of like marketing strategy or anything. I mean, this should work if I just plug this in. I think that should work. You can ask your team on how to do it. Very different markets. I work for a company that sells automation equipment. And I help make videos that sort of talk about like what the equipment does or what the benefit of the equipment is, stuff like that. So like they sell like motors, wires, PLCs, stuff like that. Way different marketing demographic than like games. Marketing is marketing. I guess so. I certainly know how to grow a YouTube channel though. I've done that a few times. So at least I haven't grown any like huge, but I've gotten monetized on multiple channels. Unreal has $100 fee for each game you post. You mean like on the Epic Game Store or something? Hey, what's up, Benzalot? I think this should work. I want to say this should work. To see if it works, let's set the default to spawn 2 at a time. And then we'll play test and hope that it spawns 2 at a time. So, bag 2. We'll set the amount to spawn. Oh shit. That's broken. To 2 and 2. Oh no, why is this set to 0? For the initial, after After the first wave, which spawns 3 of the regular ones. Why is that 0? The default's 1. So many variables. 1, 2, 3. So the amount that it should spawn after like the first 3 bombs, it should spawn. Yeah, after the first 3 bombs, it should spawn 2 for the next at a time for the next several. 12, 15 minus 5. We're up to 5. So let's just see if it works. I don't think we're gonna get to item 2 on our list tonight. That'll probably be a Saturday thing when I can stream for longer. Okay, after the first 3, it should spawn 2 at a time for a little while. Let's see if it works. One. Uh-oh. It will have loading time after I alter some things. Why is that still 0? Why is it broken? The hell? It won't let me set that to 1. What the frick? I can set it to 5. I can set it to 2. It won't let me set it to 1. That's busted. Event begin play set to 1. Oh god, that's janky. I don't wanna. I don't want to do it in code. Default value is 1 though. If I look at the struct that it's based on. Default value is supposed to be 1. Oh wait, no. This is different. Wrong struct. Amount versus chance. Yeah, default is 1, 1. Set default to 1, 100. Let's see if that fixes it. Yeah, different struct. All right, what if I just set it to like 5.5? Maybe it won't let me set it to whatever the defaults are for some reason. Bam. Okay, so it won't let me set it to whatever the defaults are for some reason. I'm gonna set it to like 5 and 500 because those were numbers that will never be used. So 2 2. I'll have to spawn 1 2. Yeah, that's definitely a bug on their part. At least we have a workaround. Anyway, after it spawns the first 3, now it should spawn 2 at a time for a little while. Let's try this again. That's a weird bug. Important stuff. Using instance to store variables. Yeah, I'm not switching maps. I just have the one map, and then I do have a save game for like unlocks and stuff. And then eventually I'd like to tie the unlocks to a combination of the save game and Oculus achievements, so even if they uninstall the game and reinstall it, it saves their achievements. But I think you can also do cloud saves. I haven't figured that out yet though. Alright, let's see if this works. One, two, three. Now two at a time. I accidentally ripped the cord out. Switch the FXA MSA. What's the performance on that? Oof. XAA less demanding, but not as high quality. MSAA can reduce frame rate by about a third. Yeah, I can try it. Might as well. Can't believe I ripped the fucking cord out. Jeez. And after we try this, I'm going to call it a stream because it's been 2.5 hours. And then I'll be back on Saturday morning to work on more stuff for a bit longer. Because on Saturdays I have from 7-ish a.m. until about noon or 1, so should be good. The aliasing feels similar in headset to the FXAA, just a little bit blurrier. Especially, it's mostly for the widgets. Not super worried about it though. It's not crazy noticeable while you're playing. I'll stick with the fast one for now. And mess with it more later. On our to-do list, we'll set number 2 for Saturday. We got the spawning multiples to work. Works pretty well. Let me set is back to 1 with like a 3% chance of getting 2. But otherwise, it works. Nice. I think having the opportunity to spawn multiples is definitely better than only spawning one at a time all the time. So call that a win for the night. I think I'm going to call the stream there. I appreciate you hanging out and keeping me company. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I hope everyone who stopped by has a fantastic rest of your evening, and I will be back on Saturday morning around 7 or 7:30 Eastern. Ilias, is that your name? Oh. Appreciate you hanging out. Hope you have a good one. I'll be back on Saturday to get some more stuff done because we have a to-do list. Bye.